What are we all doing today? So, on this episode, we're going to be dealing with high supply, high demand toys. So, what does this mean? High supply toys are something that is currently uh, being produced, generally. Uh, any kind of kids' show, any kind of movie that's still in production or uh, recently released, where merchandise is still regularly on the shelf, or just slightly past that point, where there's stuff still in circulation on the resale market, but also you have a lot of kids that are looking for it. So when you're dealing with high supply, high demand, the important things are that you have to source at a very reasonable price, because you then have to sell at a very reasonable price and typically in lots, which is what I'm going to be doing tonight. So this is the culmination of many, many toy bags. And as I sort them, I put anything that I can't sell individually in that bag. And then we go through and we make some lots. I typically do a 3-item lot depending on size. And it's going to sell for $8 or $9, shipping included. So it's basically, I'm going to make $1 on everything in this bag. I don't really seek out anything in these bags in particular unless I'm getting it for an outstanding price. It's more just stuff that was in a bag with something I really wanted that I knew I was going to make money on. It's just, this is gravy. This is effectively, said it a couple times now, this is the soup of the day of this industry. Rather than throwing away something, I can kind of bundle it up and get some value out of it, where otherwise it would be rubbish. What I do when I do this is just start sorting based on something that would work well together. So it's just an example of stuff that I would have. Sesame Street, Marvel I separate into, like, say, comic Marvel or movie Marvel and kids Marvel. That's from Spidey and his Amazing Friends show. Obviously, Little Mermaid, Chase from Paw Patrol. We got Maui. This is also from Paw Patrol, from a particular episode. We have the guy from Pixar Cars. We're already running out of room on this table. Probably gonna have to take this bag down. This girl is from, I believe, some kind of Disney Junior show. Another Paw Patrol. So what we're gonna do, so I got my 3 Paw Patrols here. This one's possibly damaged, so if you look, he's missing something on his back. But no matter. So leave this aside here. And I'm going to call this a lot. So this is Marshall, Chase, and what are the new dogs? Like a wiener dog? I totally forget the name. But I'm going to list this at $8. These are still retailing. Typically they're about $4 each, sometimes more. So if you have a kid that's really into this, you're more inclined to buy the used set. It saves you a little bit of money over the store, keeps you out of the store. In order to do that, you do have to buy it at a really reasonable rate. Again, like I got these 2 on the bag I sorted the other day with the Schleich Eagle in it. Alright. So I'm going to list this. A Paw Patrol lot of 3. I'm going to have to look up this dog, though. Hold on just a second. What's this dog's name? Paw Patrol Cast. Oh, I don't care about who's actually in it. Characters is possibly a better word for this. Where's the wiener dog? I think it was just in the movie. Liberty. Okay. Would have never remembered that. My kids just watched it the other day, but. So I'll list Marshall, Liberty, Chase. Real simple. So being as Liberty's the new dog, this might actually go pretty quick. Because I'm assuming there's not a ton of toys of her out there. Usually Paw Patrol I sometimes do 9 if it's something interesting. For this, I'm just going to do 8. That gets me $1 each. Covers the shipping. Gets an item in the store. Gets me a review later, possibly. I'm just mentioning in the listing that Chase may be missing a piece. I don't know. That just covers you if somebody complains down the road. You could say, hey, it was in the listing, it was in the picture. It doesn't really leave them a leg to stand on. Generally, if people are cool when they complain, I'll just refund it. It's kind of like not worth the small money. But that honestly rarely comes up. Alright. Got those Paw Patrols going out. I bag them up and set them aside. That way I can find them later. See what else we got. Problem with this lately has been running into a whole bunch of Marshalls. I don't like to do like 3 of the same thing. We do have, get rid of 1 Marshall. These also for Paw Patrol. Oops. Some episode involving like a zoo. I don't know. That's the toy market, though. They will go well out of their way to create something just so they can make some toys around it. But hey, that was basically my childhood, right? Every Saturday morning cartoon had some kind of toy tie-in. Alright. So this one I might be able to get a little more for because it is unique. Again, we're going to look up it'd be easier to do it here, Pop. So I'll never figure out this guy's name. Paw Patrol Monkey. That ain't the monkey. Oh, you know what? The wrong monkey, that's why. Knew I had one. What is this? A panther? Paw Patrol Panther. Alright. So this one by itself, people are listing for actually pretty good money. And we're talking about high supply. The Paw Patrol Panther, there are 600 of them for sale. So if you try to get big honking dollars out of these things, you are going against absolutely everybody. So that's why doing a lot is generally, you're just better off. You'll make money, but you'll kind of undercut everybody, because if you look for the Panther and you see the lot and it's around the same price, you'll pull the trigger on it. Well, it's not even the Panther. Yeah. Alright, so we've got that new picture here. I don't remember the episode the monkey was in. Or the panther, for that matter. There's usually a cat. Sometimes a bird. And I think with this one, we'll stick with 8. You could probably stretch it and go 9, but honestly, when the concept of rather than buy low, sell high, buying low, selling low, you will actually move more items at a lower price that you can then reinvest that money into buying more items. And it sounds counterintuitive, but you actually end up making more money in the long run because you're flipping items a bit quicker, and it's just a snowball effect. When I first started doing this, I would look at the lowest price something sold for, and I generally go like $1 above it, and ended up not moving a ton of stuff right off the bat. And it really would have helped me out to get my top seller badge and all that stuff if I'd done it a little different. Now I know better. And now I can pass that on to you if you want to do something like this. Alright, we got those listed up. Actually forgot to grab more bags. Kind of unceremoniously toss these on the floor. Alright, so let's kind of stick with the ones I pulled out already and see if we can make some more lots. I gotta look up who this is. I forget offhand. I'm fairly sure it's Disney Junior. They have a lot of programs. Some of the stuff is very valuable. Stuff that got picked up and the toys didn't really make it to market. Dr. McStuffins is a good example of that. Vampirina does pretty well. So this is Baby Belle. Okay, this is Toddler Belle from Beauty and the Beast. So let's see if I got any Beauty and the Beast in here. It's tough with some of the older movies because they haven't been monetized quite as much. But conversely, we got one. Conversely, they haven't been pushed quite as much either, so kids aren't necessarily watching. There we go. Kind of an odd bedfellow here. We have a bendable Belle, who's going to be an absolute nightmare to get her to stand up. I'm going to have to let her lean back there. Toddler Belle, and a very small beast. Hey, whatever, you know. And I'm not out anything if I don't sell it. Typically with lots, I don't actually touch them. That was the wrong thing. Sometimes I will list individual stuff, and if it doesn't move, I will pull the listing and I'll put it into a lot like this and see if I have better luck. So one of the things people use these lots for sometimes is cakes. And sometimes toys are actually sold as cake toppers versus figures. They don't articulate. They might have like bigger bases, but people will pick these up to make a birthday cake themed, and it's significantly cheaper than having somebody make you a Beauty and the Beast cake. You just buy, 5, 6 figures, throw them all on the top of a store-bought cake, Beauty and the Beast cake. A little weird sticking these in food, not having known where they have been. I can promise I'm not doing anything to them. But I did get them at Goodwill. All right. So I just got to put details on what this actually is. That way people understand they're getting kind of a weird assortment. Obviously by the height you can tell, and I'm going to put a descriptor in there because by picture you can't actually see what this is. So 3 to 5 inches, and that gives the buyer perspective. So Beast has no articulation. And Belle is bendable / flexible. We're going to do 8 on this. Be nice to clear out some of this bag. The bag, I usually leave it alone until either it's overflowing, or if I'm just not able to source things lately, I do go through sometimes some pretty catastrophic dry spells. And I try to list at least 3 things a day. That seems to be, for the algorithm on eBay, if you list 3 items a day, I typically will sell 4 items in that day. I'll sell 2 before, list 3, I'll sell 2 overnight. This time of year is actually a slower season, so I haven't been selling too much. I've been buying some stuff. I got this today, I'll throw that up there. Picked that up. Still sealed. Anything Lego still sealed, it's money. As long as you can source it at a reasonable price. It was $10, but Goodwill does a half off Wednesdays promotion if you're a member. So I got it for $5, and I got it listed for $20. You sell probably hourly. All right. What else we got here? So we got Little Mermaid, we got Maui, Spidey, we got Cars. I'm looking for 3 of a kind. Got another set of Cars. Another Little Mermaid. Might do like a Disney princesses thing, because I have this. This would work. Princess cakes are pretty popular, so for a cake topper thing, these would work. I'm just unlikely to find enough. Character-wise, Little Mermaid has really not a lot of characters. Pocahontas, I think it's 3. I mean, if that, I'm not entirely sure. The middle one's Cinderella. I'm not a huge Disney guy. Looks like Cinderella. So I'm listing it as a Disney princess. Lot of 3. Cake topper. Ariel. Cinderella. Pocahontas. If I spelled Pocahontas right, I will be shook. And we'll do 8 on this one. Really nothing to say about it. It's pretty obvious they're not action figures. And Pocahontas probably falls that category where the merchandise is old. I don't believe they ever remade it, but I don't know if anybody actually watches it. Alright, do one more probably. Making a dent in the bag here. See if we can get something good. I swear I had more cars. Doesn't look like it. So dealing with what's on the table, I get the Spider-Man car. A Spider-Man. Could find something that would fit with that. Probably not going to find any more Ariel. Sesame Street isn't really monetized as toys too often. Got these. Always going to be tough. Let's see. I got L again. I got something about it's like a Nick, not Nick Jr. Disney Jr. like a fairy show. It's another Sesame Street. Infinite amounts of Paw Patrol at all times. Oh, there we go. We got our third. Well, figure this out. Do Pixar Cars. Cars sell pretty well. So you got Lightning McQueen. That's basically they've made tons and tons and tons of figures of him. There we go. So anytime I do a Cars lot, I pretty much throw one in because I usually am running through, you know, have 2 or 3 at all times kind of sitting around. These are in good shape. Now I just got to figure out who these guys are. So this one's got no real marker. One license plate Showgirl, but that's probably not the name. I'm going to do a Google image search real quick, and then we can kind of figure out if any of these are more valuable outside this lot. It's unlikely, but... So the middle one is Marilyn. Doesn't look particularly popular. And looks like they only made 1, which is two. You can tell if you're ever trying to figure out your cars, you look at the eyes. The eyes will be different because that's effectively the only facial expression they have. The eyes will be open and closed differently, you know, pupils in different positions, and that's how you can really narrow it down, because otherwise they're just cars. All right, so we have Marilyn in the middle, and on the right we got Flo. And Flo looks like possibly is worth more outside this lot. So we're gonna go to the computer for a minute here. Now, when you see things like this, and this is, again, high supply, high demand, this typically indicates that your item that you are selling is going to kind of tail off at some point real soon. When you start getting people that are selling lots buy 2 get 3 free, what this means is they started buying this stuff very cheaply. Like, these toys may have started ending up in dollar stores and they were buying them in bulk. And now they're kind of just getting rid of them while the getting's good. So this is really common with things like Disney, the Infinity statues, Skylander, like Pez a lot of times, stuff along that lines. Things that were formerly collectible that they may have overdid it on. And Cars really did that. Unfortunately, if you look, there's 3 movies, I think, and they went well out of their way to put 50 or 60 characters in that do almost nothing. So they really kind of oversaturated it. Now, the interesting thing about this is that I've said before that because of streaming, media is immortal and timeless. So in 20 years, kids will be watching Cars, even if they never make another one. Look what happened with Toy Story. They put out 4 because there was such a demand from streaming watching the original 3. People were watching a movie they liked as a kid with their kids. So Cars is always going to be around. I'm sure you can't imagine a world where, especially like young boys, aren't interested in Cars in some way. So it could be these people are jumping the gun. I really kind of don't matter. But let's look real quick, see if Flo is indeed doing well or doing better than most. I was seeing like the 13 bucker here. That's a 155th. So that's the size that I have right there. And then again, you look at eye position. This one over here is the same one. That one over there, also the same one. They may have only made one of these. If we pulled up something where they had a lot of different ones like Mater, you could really see the different eye setups. So I'm just going to go to sold real quick. Make sure we're not giving something away here. Obviously in the box. Obviously on these lots. So yeah, no, it's just people are listing the car, but not necessarily selling it for any particular price. So I'm going to do 9 on this because it's probably going to be a bit heavy. That protects you. If you're shipping, once you hit the 5-ounce mark, you're spending a little more money to ship. It's not the end of the world, but it is your money. I think Maryland was spelled kind of weird. Intentionally spell it wrong and see what I get. Alright, so we got Lightning, Maryland, and Flo. Listing these is always a challenge too, because you're listing cars and the search engine just has a hard time with it. So you have to manually go through toys, hobbies. Or you do Disney and collectibles. I don't think the category necessarily makes sense. I don't think anybody ever truly searches by category. But I like to at least try to get it close. And I'm just going to put the descriptor played with condition because there are a couple of scrapes on them. They're not bad at all. So I talked about this before, but one of the things important to look at with die-cast especially, and anything battery operated, is pick it up and look at the screws on the bottom, and look at, and you won't be able to see it, but the axle on a die-cast, if it has been outside or in a bathtub, those screws will always be corroded. Those all look good. Especially stuff that's battery operated. If you're looking at it in a store and you flip it over and you see corrosion on the bottom, do not bother. It's not going to work. And I did actually pick up a bag of pretty beat up Thomas the Trains. Some of them are electric. So I figured I'm going to be doing maybe a repair video, talk about how you could repair stuff that is battery operated. If it's been, the battery's been left in long enough for it to corrode, or if it's gotten wet, just to see if you can salvage it. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. You're going to try a bit harder on more expensive finds, but just for the sake of a video, I think it'd be kind of fun to bust out the old Q-tip and vinegar and see if we can get a good crackle on the microphone. And there we have it. So I got them up there for 9. See how they do. Alright, we're gonna wrap it up for this stream, so I'll be back tomorrow. Might not have time to source tomorrow. So I might actually do that repair stream tomorrow. Who knows? See what it looks like. Thank you all for watching. Catch you next time.